So in a previous session, we learned about what really is data. So in this session, we're going to learn about how is this data stored in a computer at the back end. Now, this understanding is very essential because it will let us know that how what is the impact of storage of data when we use different functions, or how do computers optimize database access or database manipulation. So this is a ASCII table that I have presented over here, and it simply represents how computers represent the data that you enter into any form in any of the text editing software. So as you would notice, the most important columns in this whole four columns is the third one and the fourth one, because the things entered into these are pretty much familiar to you, and these are all, if you would notice, the capital letters of the English alphabet. The next comes up special characters. Then you have this the lowercase characters in the English alphabets, and even if you were to look into the second column, you have the numbers presented over here. But even more interesting thing to notice is the representation in decimals. So you will notice that 0 is represented as 48 in decimals in a computer, and 49 is being used to represent 1, and so on so forth. So literally we have a ascending sequence in which the numbers which we typically use, the alphabets which we typically use in our day-to-day business, is being represented in a much more different way in a computer. So J is not really stored as J in your computer; it's stored as 74 if you look at by decimal context. So capital Q is not stored as Q in your computer; it's stored as 81, because it is much more easier for the computer to deal with numbers as compared to text. So the people who invented computers and the computer logic, so thought that it's worthwhile to convert all of these characters of English language or the normal language into numbers. And to be even more precise, most of the computers use hexadecimal places to represent these text values or the numbers. So the hex table is a much more better representation of the way a computer would store. The octahedral representation is also used for in some of the computers, and it lies over here. This is the HTML view of the same data that you have over here. But it's the takeaway from this session is that when the ASCII, which is the standardization body for creating up this table, put the numbers before the capital letters, and the capital letters come before the lowercase letters in the ASCII table. Now this knowledge has a tremendous impact on our future understanding of how the functions would behave, and how does database optimizes the queries that are operated upon tables. So I hope you enjoyed this session on how does a computer stores data at the backend. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.